Hello, welcome to this Tuesday's Travelin' Young. We're here on a Tuesday. Yet again,
Exciting.
2 Tuesdays in a row. I'm very excited.
We're killing it.
We've talked already, and you didn't see that. And I feel like I've amped up my energy a little bit from just a few seconds ago.
30 seconds ago, you were both kind of tired.
I'm a little tired. I mean, we've had a busy weekend, but I'm
you had
drinking
a sip
my
of your
Hancock
soda.
apricot. So one of our viewers was super kind enough. He came over from Uland, and he brought us a case, and we paid him back for it, of course, because I mean all that pant. I mean, seriously. And so I've been enjoying these one at a time. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
this has
very
all
much
been
appreciated.
fantastic. But this week, so what we thought would be interesting is last Tuesday's video, we talked about why we moved to Denmark.
Why we picked Denmark.
Yes, and so this time we thought we'd touch on something that we don't talk about this kind of stuff too often because we try to stay positive. But there was actually a point in time where we almost left Denmark. And you might be curious to know what that point in time is. What caused it? What was the reason why? When was it? It was before we started the YouTube channel. But so we thought this week we'd talk about the moment when we almost, at the moment, but the point in time that we considered almost leaving Denmark. And what was that about?
Yeah.
All right, so this is now, I guess, our third take.
We're gonna get there.
I just don't like jump cuts, so if it doesn't go right, we just do it all over again.
Do the whole thing over.
But this also means my drink is gone, but it was worth it.
It was tasty. I like that one.
Casey, you weren't drinking it.
I know, but I like that one.
Yeah, apricot.
Had it before.
All right, so why we almost left. Thinking about this as a timeline. In April of 2018, I came here. Miranda and Maya came here in May of 2018.
Yep.
And then we got to July of 2019, and that's where we just...
Everything blew up.
The three of us were struggling,
Yeah.
and that's what we're going to talk through right now.
Yeah.
And that was the only time we've ever said, let's put a timeline on this.
Yeah.
We need to think seriously if we should stay. And if things aren't where they need to be at Christmas 2019, then we need to put a plan in place to get back.
Yeah.
Or move somewhere else in Europe, which was also a possibility. But, so Maya, not Miranda, you're Miranda. Maya is in the other room right now doing schoolwork, so she's not talking with you. But we're gonna talk a little bit about her situation and start with her. So she'd gotten through her first full school year. She had gone through this whole reception class thing where she was trying to accelerate her Danish learning. She felt like an outsider, struggling to make friends at school. She talked about some of this in one of our videos already, but she was just like
really hard
not fitting in, and she's typically really outgoing, and she, I think, felt like she'd come here and be able to make friends like she does at home. Great friends that have come to visit here, actually, last summer, for example, that she had to leave behind, and she was just struggling.
Yeah, it was just really hard for her. She did not jive with her international school. She wasn't in an international school, but her Danish class teacher, and it was just a really, really hard year. And we could see, I had never seen her that way, like just so down all the time. And it's really hard as a parent to watch that. So it was hard.
And she went from being like a really like straight A top student to one that was struggling to get through these classes and get through, and that was also super hard for her. So I think at that point, if we'd said we're going to go back, she probably would have been okay with it. Yeah. But that's Maya's situation in July of 2019. What was yours at the beginning of July?
I had no situation. I was still unemployed. And that was a point where it was just incredibly frustrating for me because I've always worked. I really like working. That's just who I am. And I had been looking for work for, I think, 8 months at that point, really steadily looking for work. And I just was getting absolutely nothing from anyone that I applied to. And it was just incredibly frustrating. And it was really, I felt so guilty. I was carrying a lot of guilt because you were supporting the three of us and you were not happy.
Yeah. So July started, one of the tough things that happened at the very beginning of the month of July is our dog Elsa, who was like my buddy and I was super close with. We would spoon in bed. I didn't say that.
You would though.
We would. She was my girl, and we had to put her to sleep. Yeah. Because she had all these heart problems, and she was super sick, and
she needed to.
That was super tough to say goodbye to her. And then I was just struggling fitting in and making things work at my job, and the pressure of knowing that my job was required for us to have these visas and stay here made me feel like I had to like stick it out and make it work. And I don't like to give up either. But I was just struggling.
Yeah. And I could tell you were struggling. You were down.
And it was weird because this is where I'm going to be completely honest here in myself and say that, I wanted to just apply all the stereotypes that I know or have heard about Danes being difficult and this and that and the workplace being difficult in Denmark. And I just wanted to act like that was all the issue. No. And then just like blanket be like, well, Denmark's not good. We need to just get out of here. Yeah. And there were moments when I thought that. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to make it work here. If I can't make it work at this job, they moved me here and it still isn't working. And it was super tough to kind of figure out what I needed to do and where to go. And so I started looking for something new to be able to just decide if this was it. I didn't want to just give up on Denmark, but I don't know. It's really hard to articulate where just when things start going wrong and not feeling right, you just want to just blame the easiest thing that's in front of you. And that was to say, oh, it's Danes and it's Denmark. Yeah. This is the problem. And it was specific people that could be at any job. Yeah. And I've had people at jobs in America that were difficult to work with. It's not a Danish thing at all. But at the time, that was just the easy way out. The easy way out was to say, this is the problem. It's not us. It's not me. Or let's just go. Yeah. And that's what was going through my head. And I said, all right, we get till Christmas. If I can find a new job, and if you can find something, and Maya starts the school year, then we'll stick around. And so what happened was,
all those things happened.
It's pretty amazing where like it felt really down in July, and I don't know if it's like a situation where because we said we've got a definite time to make this work. If that just changed, I don't know how to describe, but it changed a lot. And
we were just very focused, I think.
And so we had this vacation plan to, actually we spent a little bit of July in the Netherlands and did a little vacation there, but then we went to the U.S. and visited with my parents and went to Disney and then visited other parts of the U.S. And in that period of time, which is really interesting actually, because July is like a dead month in Denmark usually. You can't get anything done in July, and like from a work perspective.
This month.
But in this month of July, in that period of time, I found a new job and signed a new contract while I was in the U.S. Maya got to visit with her friends, which was like this like reboot, I think, that she needed to feel better because she hadn't seen them in a year. And then you had
I was sitting on the plane about to go back, and I got the email that they were going to offer me a job. And I was so like blown away because it was a huge career move for me because it was going into consulting and becoming a business analyst. So that was really big for me, and I'll forever be thankful to the recruiter who reached out to me to help me get that job. But it was crazy. I just remember like we were all like sitting on the plane, and it was just this huge sigh of relief that everything had happened that we needed to have happen.
And my while I'm not at that second job anymore because I just started a new one. My boss there was one of the best bosses I've ever had, and he is Danish. And like the first things I started to like unravel was like, these things at the other job is not a Danish thing. This is like, why was I letting myself fall into this trap of basically applying stereotypes and all? And then I think I grew as a person a bit to make that realization. And now I try everything I can to fight the easy answer, the easy way to get out of an explanation by applying some stereotype to a group of people. I mean, it's not like I'm always successful, but that was just like a life lesson for me when I realized what I'd been doing and And so glad that we decided to try to still make it work. And then we had this, all of us a 180-degree difference. Maya started to feel a little bit better at school, meeting a bit more, a few more people. Yeah. And then obviously the next year she went to after school, and that changed everything again for her. And now she's in gymnasium. And it's like the path has gotten so much better. But I mean, that was a very difficult, and it felt like it was early enough. I don't know if I ever thought this, but like, it was quick enough that's like we could just go back, and it's like we weren't gone for so long. It's like we never.
It was the great experiment.
Yeah. Because I feel like a certain amount of time you're gone, then you're like in it, and if you go back, then
it's. I feel like now we're at that point.
Yeah, we're in it.
Yeah. But I think somebody, and I think it was kind of what pointed us to even make this video, was somebody had commented, "Have you ever regretted coming to Denmark?" And I wouldn't say we've ever regretted coming here, but I think that this particular time period, it really made us doubt ourselves and doubt whether or not we had made the right decision.
Well, one of my personal life philosophies is to avoid regretting anything, because trying to change things that you can't change, and the past is the one thing you definitely can't change, is just a lifetime of misery. So more than anything for me, it was, how do I prevent a future regret? Like, how can I make sure I make the right decision now? So, and that's what we were thinking in July, which is I didn't regret coming, because no matter what, I learned a bunch about us. But it's like, I don't want to be in a position that I regret not making the right decision now. And how do we make sure now that we're thinking? And I think we don't have very many family meetings, but I think we had some family meetings in July to talk through this stuff, all of us, to figure out what we were going to do. Yeah. And so that was kind of this situation in July of 2019 where we were super close to making the decision to go back. Yeah. And obviously we're grateful that we stayed and that we stuck it out and that we gave everything the opportunity and kind of kept pushing ourselves to try to make it work. And it has. Yeah, and it has. And I'm super happy about that. Yeah. So, all right. So in a future video, maybe next week, I feel like we've got a 3 series here.
Yeah, I think so.
Last week was why we moved and made the decision to move here. Yeah. This week is when we almost moved back. Yeah. Next time, maybe next week, will be why are we going to stay? I mean, not stay now, but like stay. Because people are like, are you guys going to stay? Are you going to? And yes, we would like to stay. And we're going to talk to you about why we would like to stay. But for now, let's just, let's wrap this up because it's nighttime.
It is. I'm ready to go to bed.
And I got to travel to Barcelona tomorrow for a conference this week. So I got to get packing and stuff. So we'll just say goodbye.
All right, bye.